Namaskar everyone and welcome to the Gita Satsang. Let us start with Prarthana. By the Guru's grace and the will of Shri Krishna, we have all assembled for this Gita Satsang. May we have their guidance to be able to learn and adopt the things which will help us to grow spiritually. Let us chant the shlokas. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय हरये परमात्मने प्रणतक्लेशनाशाय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। नमोऽस्तु ते व्यासविशालबुद्धे पुल्लारविन्दाय तपत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयप्रदीपः। यो नित्यमच्युतपदाम्बुजयुग्मरुग्म व्यामोहतस्तदितराणि तृणाय मेने अस्मद्गुरोर्भगवतोऽस्य दयैकसिन्धोः रामानुजस्य चरणौ शरणं प्रपद्ये। रामानुजदयापात्रं ज्ञानवैराग्यभूषणं श्रीमद्वेङ्कटनाथार्यं वन्दे वेदान्तदेशिकम्। With prayers at the lotus feet of the Acharyas, let us go to our shloka for today. So, we had stopped at the 16th shloka in the previous satsang. So, today we will be taking up shloka number 17. So, in this, Krishna is telling Arjuna, he tells now about the proportion of time, how time is divided and so on. So, he says, Sahasrayuga Paryantam Aharyat Brahmano Viduhu Ratrim Yuga Sahasramte Sahasrantamte Ahoratra Vido Janaha. Those who know the duration of the cosmic day and night understand that a day of Brahma lasts for 1,000 yugas and a night of Brahma lasts for another 1,000 yugas. So here Krishna is explaining about the concept of time as it is in our Sanatana Dharma. So they say that one Mahayuga, a cycle of 4 yugas. Now we have heard people telling that we are presently living in Kali Yuga. So like this, there are 4 yugas that we know about. There is the Krita Yuga or the Satya Yuga, then the Treta Yuga, then Dwapar Yuga and Kali Yuga. Now, if there is one cycle of these 4 yugas, that is called as one Mahayuga. So what is the duration of each of these yugas in that Mahayuga? The Krita Yuga was 1728,000 years. Treta Yuga was 1,296,000 years. Dwapar Yuga was 864,000 years. And Kali Yuga is 432,000 years. Now, when we say these years, we mean human years. Now, if we say that one Mahayuga is one cycle of each of these yugas, one Krita, one Treta, one Dwapara, one Kali. So when you add up all these things, if you add up this 432, 864, 1296 and 1728,000, that much if you add, you will end up at 432 and 0,000 years. So that many number of years you will arrive at. That is what is called as one Mahayuga. So if you want to talk in terms of 43,20,000 years, that is one Mahayuga. 43,20,000 years is one Mahayuga, which is formed by adding the duration of the 4 yugas. Now, if you take 1,000 such Mahayugas, whatever is one Mahayuga, the 43,20,000 years, you multiply that by 1,000. If you take 1,000 such Mahayugas, that forms what is called as one Kalpa. That one Kalpa is equivalent to one day for Brahma. Who is this Brahma? The deity of creation, who has been created, whom we are calling as Pitamaha. That Brahma, that Brahma who has been created by Sriman Narayana for the purpose of creation of this universe. So that Brahma's lifetime, like one day of that Brahma, is called one kalpa, which is nothing but 1,000 Mahayugas in human terms. Similarly, one night of Brahma is also that many 1,000 Mahayugas. So the Vedas say that the duration of this universe will last for Brahma's lifespan of 100 years. So if we say one day of Brahma is equal to 1,000 Mahayugas, then like that, Brahma's lifespan of 100 years, how many days that is going to be? That many into 1,000 Mahayugas. That is the duration of this universe. At the end of that time, after Brahma's lifespan of 100 years is over, this universe will undergo pralaya. So, from this, what we can understand, we can make out, like, okay, forget the numbers and all that, but what we can make out in very simple terms is that Brahma's lifespan is very, 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 very large. Definitely so much larger than ours. And still, Brahma's lifespan is not eternal or not permanent. Whoever is today sitting in that position is some Jivatma who has come there because they have accumulated lot of punya. When a Jivatma accumulates enough punya to be able to get that seat of Brahma, he goes there. So although Brahma's lifespan is very long, still it is not eternal or permanent. Right? In the Mahabharata, it is told that Kala Chakra, Jagat Chakra, and Yuga Chakra, everything is Keshava, everything is the Lord. What is this Kala Chakra? It is the wheel of time. That means time keeps on moving. Jagat Chakra. What is this Jagat Chakra? It is a cycle of continuous births and deaths. And what is Yuga Chakra? It is a cycle of each of these yugas coming one after the other. So, all these chakras, they are controlled, they are administered by the Lord. How? Just by his mere sankalpa. Although he is administering all these things, now the lifespan of even the longest person that we know, that is Brahma, that is not eternal. Even that is subject to decay at some point of time. But what is permanent in this world, in this entire creation? It is only Sri Vaikuntha, which is therefore called as the Nitya Vibhuti. The Lord's abode, which is called Nitya Vibhuti or Sri Vaikuntha, that is the only permanent entity. So, if we are living in this world and we are continuously being born and dying, repeatedly we are having janmas, then we are subject to the effect of time, we are subject to the effect of the Jagat Chakra, Yuga Chakra, and all that. But if we attain the lotus feet of the Lord, once we reach Sri Vaikuntha, then there is no more such change that happens to us. So the only way to get permanency is to transcend this world and go to the Nitya Vibhuti. Now, further, Krishna continues, and in the 18th shloka, he tells Arjuna, Avyaktad Vyakta Avyaktad Avyaktad Avyaktya Sarvaha Prabhavantya Haragame Ratriagame Praliyante Tatraivavyakta Sangyake. All the avyakta entities, all the vyakta entities, all the manifested entities come from avyakta, come from the unmanifest. When the day of Brahma comes and when the night of Brahma comes, they are dissolved into that which is known as the unmanifest. Now, this sounds a little technical. So, previously, if you remember what we had taken in previous older satsangs, Krishna had described how the process of creation happens. That first, using the avyakta tattvas. It is the Lord who starts the process of creation. So that point of time, whatever creation is done by the Lord, that is called as Samashti Srishti. That starts from Ahankara and so on, Mula Prakriti, Ahankara and so on. After completing that first stage of Samashti Srishti, which starts from the Avyaktam, then the Lord created Brahma. And he gives over the further process of creation, which is called Vyashti Srishti, to Brahma. So, with the Lord's blessings, Brahma starts that part of creation. Now, what is this, the creation that Brahma is doing? He is creating all the manifest items, whatever we are able to see with our eyes, feel with our senses. So the Bhu, Bhuva, Swaha, all the lokas, all the living beings, all the Chit, Achit Vastu, everything in this world, Brahma is creating. Now, when does he create this? It is during his daytime. And this creation that he does during his daytime, that is called as Naimittika Srishti. Now, when it becomes night for Brahma, these objects, they will dissolve back. They undergo destruction. They dissolve back into the body of Brahma itself. That is called as Naimittika Pralayam. So this Srishti, which is done with respect to the day and night of Brahma. During the day of Brahma, objects are created. During the night of Brahma, those objects dissolve back. So the creation during the day of Brahma is Naimittika Srishti. The dissolution during the night of Brahma is called Naimittika Pralayam. Now this happens. Okay, how often does this happen? For this, we have to go back to the thing that we saw previously. That one day of Brahma, how long it is. One night of Brahma, how long it is. It is nothing but 1,000 Mahayugas. So that much time, there will be Naimittika Srishti and Naimittika Pralayam. But if we reach the Lord's destination, we don't have to undergo this repeated creation and destruction. Now in the 19th shloka, Krishna continues further and tells about how this repeated cycle goes on. Bhutagramah sa evayam bhutva bhutva praliyate rathryagame vashah partha prabhavatyaharagame. The same set of beings, the same multitude of beings come forth again and again irresistibly, means it cannot be stopped, this process. And again, those beings are withdrawn when the night comes. Again, when the next day comes, it comes. Like this, he explains this to Arjuna. So that means repeatedly there will be cycles of pralaya which are happening. So if you see the description in the Vedas, they say that there can be 4 types of pralaya. One is called as Nitya Pralaya. Normally, we think that Pralaya means it is the end of the world. And somewhere around the year when that 2000 happened, everybody talked about how the world is going to end and all that. We should not worry. The world is not going to end so soon. That Pralaya is not going to happen like this. There are actually 4 types of Pralaya. One is what is called as Nitya Pralaya, that every day, every night when we go to sleep and our consciousness completely dissolves, that is also one type of Pralaya. That is what our consciousness dissolves every night when you go to sleep. You every mark of whatever has happened during the day is wiped away from your consciousness and you fall asleep. That is also one type of Pralaya. Then, at the end of every day of Brahma, what we talked about just now, that is called as the Naimittika Pralaya. Then, at the time, now every day of Brahma, there is Naimittika Pralaya. Then, when Brahma completes his lifespan of 100 years, at that time there is one Pralaya where even the Brahmaloka gets destroyed. That is called as Mahapralaya. And for every Jivatma, when it individually gets moksha and escapes this cycle of samsara, of cycle of birth and death, and that Jivatma gets moksha and reaches Vaikuntha, that is called as Atyantika Pralaya. Now, Arjuna has a doubt that Krishna is telling all these things. Why should this happen? Why can't it be that something which is created stays like that forever? Why this repeated cycle of creation and destruction? So Krishna answers to that, saying that this is happening irresistibly. You remember, here I said that it keeps happening again and again irresistibly. It cannot be stopped. Why it can't be stopped? Because the driving force behind this is the karma of these individual jivatmas. As long as the entities are having the karma that they have done from many past janmas, that has to get completed. Those karmas, the effects of those karmas have to be borne. So, therefore, this repeated cycle of creation and destruction goes on happening again and again. So that is what now Krishna has been trying to explain to Arjuna. Further, as we go further ahead, he is going to tell about, now all this he has talked about how repeated creation and destruction takes place. Then later he's going to tell about at the time. Now we say the individual Jivatma, when that birth is over, when that Sharira is given up, what happens at that time? What kind of process takes place? That Krishna will be explaining in the further shlokas. So in the next satsangs, we will see that. If you think that this sounds little confusing, then it is okay. It is not very relevant to us from our point of view of the sadhana that we are doing. So it can be little confusing for us to understand this. But it's okay. What we need to understand the concept mainly is that although Brahma's lifespan is very long, it is not eternal. The only thing eternal in the whole of creation is Sri Vaikuntha. And if we want to get out of this cycle of repeated birth and death, then the only way out is to reach that Sri Vaikuntha by performing sadhana. So let us pay attention to that aspect and try and understand whatever we can of the other aspects. So with that, we have come to the end of our topic for today. Let us offer gratitude, Kritagnyata, at the lotus feet of Sri Krishna and Guru, who inspired us to start and join this satsang. Let us pray for their blessings and grace to always be on us. Thank you, everybody, for attending. And we will meet again next Friday as usual.